Good morning everyone. Today I welcome you all to this class of mine where I'll be teaching another aspect of verbs. But its name is slightly different. It is referred as tenses. Isn't it surprising? Because we always imagine tenses to be a big mountain in English grammar which we could never climb, isn't it? But the reality is it's not as tough. It's just a form of verb. But the difference is, it is that form of verb which tells you the time when a particular incident happened. Isn't it surprising to hear that verbs could be changed to so many forms based on the time aspect? As it is divided into three parts: present, past and future. And each part is further subdivided into 4 parts. But today, I'll be focusing only on the basic form of present and past. That is, present simple and past simple. Let's start with present simple tense. Before teaching you the rules of present simple, let me tell you where it is used. It is used when we talk about habits and routines. For example, I brush twice a day. To talk about general truth. For example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. When we talk about scheduled events. For example, the plane flies to Mumbai every Sunday. For instruction, for example, go sit down. We all know that every sentence in English has a subject and a verb. The subjects being I, you, we, they, he, she, it. It can be in the form of names, for example, Michael, Adam, etc. Before moving further, let me introduce you to the 3 persons of English grammar. The first person, the second person and the third person. The first person is the speaker. Therefore, I and we come under the first person. The second person is the listener. Therefore, you is considered to be the second person. You can be seen on both the sides, that is the singular and plural. It is because the listener can be one person, the listener can be more than one person too. The third person is about whom the speaker speaks. He can speak about a boy, he can speak about a girl, or he can speak about a thing. Therefore, he, she and it come under the third person. And when they are more than one, they are categorized under the plural form of third person, that is they. Now that we have finished with subjects, let us move on to verb. Let us take a verb, say walk. In simple present tense, a verb has 2 forms, the base form and S form. The verb we have taken is walk. The base form of walk is walk itself. And the S form is walks. The example we take is swim. The root form or the base form of swim is swim itself, whereas the S form becomes swims. Let us look into what the English grammar rule says about its usage. The English grammar rule says that the verb takes its base form or root form with the first and second person singular. That is, with I walk and you also walk. The English grammar rule also says that the verb takes its base form or root form with the first person, second person and third person plural. That is, we walk, you walk, and they walk. The English grammar rule says that the verb takes its S form only with the third person singular. That is, he, she or it. So it becomes he walks, she walks, it walks. Let us look at what we learned as a whole. I walk in the morning. You walk in the morning. We walk in the morning. They walk in the morning. He walks in the morning. She walks in the morning. It walks in the morning. With this, we have finished with present simple tense. Now let's start with past simple. Past simple is used when we talk about recent or distant past action. For example, it rained yesterday. She spied for the army in 2019. Before we get started, we need to know that in English language, we have regular and irregular verbs. So let's get started. Let's take an example. I walked to school yesterday. She paid for the dinner last week. Both these sentences are in the past simple tense. Now, let us learn how to form past simple tense using regular and irregular verbs. With regular verbs, we add ed to the root verb to change it into past simple. For example, she kicked the door open. The root verb is kick and we added ed to make it simple past. With verbs that end with e, we add only d to it. Example, he closed the door. The root verb is close. It ends with an e, therefore only d is added to change it into the past tense. With verbs that end with y, especially those that are preceded by a consonant, the y changes to I and ed is added to it. For example, we studied together last night, the root verb being study. The last letter y changes to I and then ed is added to it to make it into the past tense. Now let us look at the irregular verbs. They have a unique past simple form. For example, they built this home last year. The root verb is build. She taught me English in Standard 2. The root verb being teach. Let's look at the three persons of English grammar and find out how the past tense are used here. In the first person singular, I walked in the morning. With the first person plural, we danced in the rain. Second person singular, you liked the mangoes. Second person plural, you sang well. Third person singular, he ate an apple, she cried a lot, it rained heavily. And third person plural, they fought for the nation. Today we have finished with present simple and past simple. Now I have a worksheet for you to check your understanding. Here is the worksheet. She dashed to Australia in 1994. The word in the bracket is go. Number 2. The policeman dashed to the burglar yesterday. The word in the bracket is talk. Third, I often dash her mother at the railway station. The word in the bracket is see. Fourth, the kangaroo always dash its baby. The word in the bracket is carry. Number 5, I dashed last night. The word in the bracket is smoke. Thank you for your attention.